Hey guys, and welcome back. So if you didn't know, we're Luke and Alysha, and today we're actually going to be discussing how much RV living costs us per month. I always find these videos really interesting because no two people RV the same, and you definitely don't spend your money the same either. So it'll be interesting to go through and see how we spend our money.
Yeah, this summer we did 16 weeks across Canada and back. We went to Newfoundland, came back, and in those 16 weeks we found in our budget we averaged roughly 3,300 Canadian dollars every month. So we're gonna break that down a bit into fixed and variable costs and get into all of that a little bit more with you guys here.
We should mention too, yeah, it was like $3,300 a month that we were spending, but that includes gas. And gas in Canada isn't always the cheapest, and our motorhome is definitely a pig for gas. So we spent a whole lot of money on gas during our trip. If you take out the cost of gas, we actually only spent about $1,700 a month while we were living in an RV.
We did treat it like a home on wheels. We didn't eat out a whole lot. We free camped. But we did drive almost 20,000 kilometers this summer, so gas was a big part of that budget.
So let's jump into it here. We're going to be starting with our fixed costs. So what we spend every month, no matter what, let's get into it. All right, so first up on our list is our motorhome's insurance. So we spend $190 per month on insurance on our motorhome, which in reality, it might be a little expensive to what you're used to because I know British Columbia does have pretty high insurance rates, but it's not that different from insuring a car in BC, which is kind of amazing. We actually went through ICBC with our basic insurance, which you have to do in BC, and then we actually got a private insurance policy to cover our collision, comprehensive, and all that kind of stuff, and it also includes an amount for personal belongings in the RV. So we're fully insured for $190 a month. Can't really complain there.
Up next is gym memberships. This was an optional one. Obviously you could choose not to have a gym membership while you travel, but this cost us $100 a month. That got us both access to Anytime Fitness anywhere in the world technically, but we enjoyed using that. We got to shower and get a good workout in. We did have an RV shower we could have used, but I mean, getting an unlimited hot water shower was always a nice little treat whenever we were near a gym. We like to work out and keep active, so we did enjoy that one and we did use it quite a bit across the country, so gym memberships is number 2 for us.
In our regular lives too, we always have a gym membership anyway, so it's not like this is an added cost just for the extra showers or anything like that. We actually do go and work out, so it's a necessity for us and also a bonus to have those extra showers.
Yeah, we would have had it regardless, I guess, whether RVing or not.
Alright, next up is our BC Medical. We spend $72 a month on BC Medical. You gotta do what you gotta do, and that's just an everyday cost for us here.
Part of Canadian healthcare, but it has us covered all around the board at least, and we didn't need to have any kind of fancy travel insurance going across Canada. We just had this BC Medical, and that was enough for us to travel safely. Up next is our Canada National Parks Pass. It worked out to being $12 a month, and I mean that was super handy for us, of course. If you stop in a national park, which we drove through quite a few of them, you were supposed to pay for parking if you didn't have it. And it also got us free admission to a lot of cool events. Louisbourg Fortress we went and visited, the recreation town, that was included. When we went to Halifax Citadel, that was included. And just all of the different little spots like that along the way we could have free admission to. So compared to paying, it easily worked itself out there, I would say.
Yeah, so any national park admission is included in the pass, as well as any national historic site. So instead of paying admission at the gate, you're actually allowed to get in for free, which is really cool. All right, next one up here is our cost for phone and internet was about $210 a month. I mean, you're gonna have your phone bill no matter what in life. It's not like our RVing phone is any different, but we did actually add about $100 a month for our data package that we used, and it was basically a necessity for us. Traveling around, and especially in remote areas where you don't always have that free Wi-Fi option, it was really good to have a data package and be able to upload videos on the go and look up stuff on the go. It was just a bonus.
Yeah, I think in the USA you could probably do it a lot cheaper and have a lot better kind of options to choose from, but for getting across Canada, this made uploading videos a lot easier for us and kind of helped us with our YouTube needs. We have a few subscriptions we paid that we'll get into later here that kind of covered us for most of our shows, but for uploading YouTube videos, having that extra data was definitely a must, I would say. So with that being said, our subscriptions we had were a YouTube Premium subscription, Netflix subscription, Spotify for music, and then maybe a few other ones, but it came out to $37 a month. YouTube Premium, you don't need to have, of course, on YouTube here, but having that lets you download shows. We're big YouTube watchers, hence why we enjoy YouTube in general, but We could pre-download our YouTube shows in advance. Netflix, you can pre-download shows on. And then with Spotify, you can pre-download all your road trip playlists. So usually we always have our music and all of our kind of shows we watch pre-downloaded. And just by doing that, that really took away some of the burden of needing to rely on data constantly at least, but those are our main subscriptions. We touched on a lot of them in our apps video as well. We did a few videos ago, but yeah. I would say that's the big ones for us at least, is $37 a month for those.
And on top of those subscriptions, we also have subscriptions that we need to make YouTube videos. So we have Adobe Premiere Pro, which we use to edit our videos, Adobe Photoshop, and also a royalty-free music subscription that we need to add music to our videos. So those all come out to an extra $72 a month.
Yeah, they're definitely not cheap, but I mean, they're kind of essential for making YouTube videos. Without the editing software, or I mean, all the music is royalty claimed out there in the world. Of course, we need royalty-free music, so it just kind of is what it is, and that's just part of the package.
So those are all of our fixed costs that we pay every month, no matter what, and it comes out to a total of $693.
So with that being said, fixed costs are wrapped up. Now we're gonna jump into the variable costs. So our first variable cost, and also our largest variable cost, was gas going across the country and back.
Yeah.
In total, we spent $5,900 on gas, which worked out to being about $1,700 per month. Our 23-foot Class C RV gets about 26 liters per 100 kilometers, which we worked it out to being about 33 cents per kilometer when we're planning about how much it's gonna cost for how far we have to drive in the RV.
Yeah, it's a really good calculation for us to have because it makes it really easy to predict how much we're going to be spending in gas on our future trips. So for example, I don't know, you were saying to go down to Vancouver Island and back might be about 2,000 kilometers, so we can kind of estimate how much that's going to cost us in our RV.
Yeah, it definitely makes pre-planning easier. Gas is one of the largest expenses no matter what for RVing for us. We live pretty frugally otherwise, but if you know, again, 2,000 kilometers to do the Vancouver Island loop, give or take, it's gonna be what, $660? The gas will be a bit more in Vancouver, so we can think maybe $750 roughly all in, and you can plan it right there instead of dreading fueling up every single time and paying for those expensive RV gas tanks.
All right, so our next biggest variable cost is food. So we lump together food and drinking water together. We always bought jugs of water from the grocery store to drink instead of drinking out of our tap. That's just what we prefer. Our cost per month was $688 on food. So we primarily did eat at home. We did eat like good quality ingredients, I would say. We didn't, eat budget meals all the time.
You saw some of our cooking. We had some good meals on the road.
Yeah. And then we also did eat out a couple of times, not too often, but it's in there as well.
Yeah, just being able to do the home cooking while you're traveling was such a big one for us. We probably only ate out, I would say, 1 or 2 times a month, if that, maybe on a quick Dairy Queen when we're spending that in a Walmart parking lot, but we never went to any really big fancy restaurants or anything like that, so it's nice being able to control your food budget that way. You have a fridge, you have a stove, you have all the cooking stuff you need, so I mean, you can kind of compare your food budget in an RV to what it would be at home. You just have a smaller fridge. And for a lot of people even, at least you're kind of aware of what your produce is. You're more likely to use your vegetables, you're more likely to use all of your stuff before you reach expiration dates, so it really made for an easy turnover on food, and we were a lot more aware of what we were buying and eating, so it was pretty good for us at least. So up next was our paid camping. So it came out to $93 a month for a total cost of $350. So we spent a total of 12 nights at paid campsites. They were all national parks across the countryside. We didn't want to miss out on a lot of the kind of iconic national parks. And then we spent the rest of our time boondocking or free camping. So we did try and keep this cost down a lot.
Yeah, our whole goal was kind of stretching our money as far as it could go. So paying for a campsite wasn't our #1 priority, but we do love national parks so much that it was really fun to be able to stay in the national park, stay in the campgrounds, and kind of do the activities in that national park instead of having to boondock outside of the national park. So definitely worth it for us. Okay, so our next cost here was RV maintenance, RV repairs, and items for the RV. We spent an average of $109 a month on our RV. So things included in this price would be like our Wi-Fi extender that we purchased, a TV mount that we purchased and installed, We actually did an oil change on the way because it was about time for that. And we also like fixed our slide out awning, just a lot of the little maintenance things and bits and bobs that we added or fixed in our RV over the 16 weeks.
So we kept this pretty low. This is a big variable one. One person could have something big break, whereas somebody else could have nothing break. So you definitely want to leave a little bit of a cushion or wiggle room ideally, so you're not surprised in your budget all of a sudden. But like an oil change, we did that ourselves. It came out to about $75 for the 6 liters of oil and everything. So little things like that we did. We did have our slide break down on us, but we managed to just live without our slide working for the last month on the way back. And when we got back into BC, Alysha's dad was able to look at it, kind of diagnose which wires stopped working, and he fixed that for us. If we would have taken that into an RV repair shop, I don't know what that would have cost for them to diagnose. I think it's pretty expensive for their hourly rate. So I mean, that could have easily been a couple $100 having someone poking around. So if you know someone handy, or if you're a handy person yourself, you can really save on this one too, at least, and avoid those RV repair shop fees.
Yeah, we were extremely lucky that nothing big broke on us. And even when something big did break, we were able to kind of fix it ourselves and get my dad's help. So yay.
So up next is our admissions and activities and how much those cost us. So we spent about $64 a month in total on those activities, which worked out to, I believe we spent about $240 in total going across the country. Thankfully, our Parks Pass paid for a lot of it. Like I mentioned, Louisbourg Fortress, Halifax Citadel, some of those big ones that would have cost us a lot more otherwise. But other than that, the Banff gondola alone was about $120, was it?
Yeah, for both of us to go up was $120 on that.
Yeah, so that was a big chunk, I mean literally half of it right there. And then the rest of it was just little things like going to the Drumheller Dinosaur Museum and things like that. But overall, the Parks Pass kind of took care of most of our outdoor activities, and we didn't spend a whole lot other than that.
Alright, so next up is propane. This was actually pretty cheap for us. Going into living in our RV, we actually had zero idea on how much propane was going to be costing us. We didn't know how long a tank was going to last, how much a tank was going to take to fill up. Zero idea. So we spent about $35 a month on propane, which is pretty good if you ask me.
Yeah, that was our cooking, our fridge. We did a lot with it for sure. So up next is tolls and ferries. It was $640 for the 4 months we traveled. It worked out to about $170 a month we broke it down to. But the Newfoundland ferry there and back was about $500, I would say. So that was the large chunk of it right there. And then the PEI bridge, crossing the Confederation 10-minute bridge, that one came out to about $50 each time you crossed that. So a few little things, but I mean, we weren't gonna miss Newfoundland, we weren't gonna miss PEI, so that was just kind of an unavoidable cost for us. But there wasn't a whole lot besides that. We went through one little toll in Quebec, I think that probably cost $5 or $10, but all in all, that was pretty minimal for us besides the big ferry.
Alright, and the last section we have here is just other. So this includes everything from laundry, magnets, Luke's fishing license in Ontario, cat supplies, parking costs, cleaning supplies for the RV, and like shampoo and stuff like that. Just all the random stuff. It came out to about $101 a month. So some of those are normal day-to-day expenses, like for example our cat stuff, but a lot of it was just kind of extra fun stuff like our magnet collection, so pretty decent amount.
And that about wraps up our total variable costs. It came out to $2,845, with half of that being gasoline alone basically. And I mean, those can kind of vary of course. If you choose to eat out more, if you choose to go to RV parks more, if gas is cheaper in the USA, I know a lot of you get cheaper gasoline prices, so you get better fuel efficiency. All of these things can change, but trying to keep it on a frugal budget on our end in Canada, I think we did pretty good, I would say.
So that brings our grand total to $3,300 or $1,700, not including our huge gas price, if you'd like to look at it that way, which I personally do.
Yeah.
So personally, I'm pretty happy with that. I feel like that's a pretty good number to live off of, and we had a good time, so worth it.
Yeah, and I would say, I mean, you compare what traveling full-time should cost you, I think that's a pretty good number. A lot of the RV videos we've seen on YouTube here, people have their budgets that look like, I've seen $6,000, $7,000 budgets for people that are constantly at RV parks with hookups. So being able to RV on an affordable budget of more like $3,300 a month, which might be more comparable to someone's retirement budget, say, I think there's definitely a way that you can swing it without it being this luxury kind of lifestyle. All right, guys, and that about wraps up our RV budget and kind of how much RV living costs us? I know this has been a really popular question in the comments, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this one and found it useful. If you did, be sure to give the video a like. Maybe comment down below if you want to see anything else answered. We're looking for other questions to answer for you guys here. And otherwise, I believe we'll catch you in the next video here then, guys.
Yep, see ya!
Bye!